Hello everyone, in this tutorial we're going to break a model or a sphere or object into pieces. So let's get into it. So now we're on our default scene in Blender. Let's take away the cube, it's delete by pressing delete, and let's make a floor for our fractured pieces to break on. So we go to add, go to mesh and add a plane. Yes, name the plane floor. Okay, and let's go here. And when you press this little arrow here, or you press N on your keyboard, or this little arrow here, it pops out a menu on the plane. And here we can type in the dimensions of how long, the length and the width. So I'm going to put a 10 on the X and the Y, and that's perfect enough for the floor that we're going to use for our fractured pieces. And I want to now extrude this plane to make it a bit thicker. For us to do that, we have to go to edit mode and make sure that we're on the face mode by clicking here on the face, because this is point mode, edge mode, and now that's face mode. So just click on this on the actual plane and let us go to extrude. So we just press extrude and a little arrow or cross will pop up, and we can either push this up or down. But I want to have increments for its movement. So let's go back. So for us to do that, we hold down Control, and that will bring it down exactly 1 meter down or 1 meter up. But I would like it to be 1 meter down. So if you hold Control, it does an incremental snapping action of 1, 2, 3 meters down. So I'm just going to use a meter and let go, and then we have an extrude of a meter thick plane or floor. After we've done that, we can go back to object mode, and I'd like to add the sphere or the object for us to break into pieces. So let's add a sphere, go to mesh, sphere, UV sphere, and I would like to put this UV sphere exactly 1 meter above our floor. And once we've done that, we can now go to shade smooth by right clicking shade smooth, and now we have a smoothed sphere. And I want to zero out this one. I don't want this one here to be here. So I'm going to go to object, apply, and go to all transformations to deltas. And that will now take out that 0 and 1 and make it 0. Once we've done that, we have now all that we need for our collision of fractured pieces to now have our system here to now break these into pieces. So the next step is now to smash this or make this sphere into broken pieces. For us to do that, we have to go to Object, Quick Effects, and Cell Fracture. Make sure that your sphere is selected when you do this. So let's go to Quick Effects, Cell Fracture. And now this panel will pop up, this cell fracture panel will pop up. All we're going to concentrate in today is the noise part of it, the noise tab. So we just want to put it to 1, and 100 pieces is fine. So we can just press OK, and that should now break our pieces. So once that is done, all 100 pieces have been highlighted. What we want to do is keep that highlighted. Make sure you don't press anything, but keep this highlighted pieces and press M on your keyboard, and that will make a new collection. So this will be an area where all these pieces be children of this new collection. So let's press M again, and let's make new collection, and let's give it a name. Let's give it a name like fractured pieces, and then press OK. Now all our pieces are in this fractured area now. So this is really good. So the next step, what we want to do is now we want to make them have a rigid body, so they can make we can have a simulation for them to now break on the floor. So for us to do that, we have to select all our pieces again. So we got to go to select, go to select, go objects. Remember to select your collection area, the fractured pieces, and go to right click, select objects. This will now select all the children of that collection. And once we do that, we need to go to our physics panel and select our physics, and we want to go to rigid body. And that's all we want to do. That's all we're going to do. And next, after that, we want to go to object. I want to go to rigid body and copy from active, because in Blender we have to realize that it's only with the rigid body it's seeing the first item in the list. That is where the rigid body is actually happening. With the copy to active allows us to now copy all those attributes from the first one onto all the rest of the children. This is very important that we do this. And every change that we make, we have to go to copy to active. Okay, so let's go to objects, rigid body, and then copy to active. Yeah. So once we do that, so now it needs something to now smash or fall on. For us to do that, let's go to our floor and let's go to our rigid body again here, so which is already selected or we're in there already. And go to rigid body and go to passive. Okay. If we press play, it shall break into pieces quite nicely. Okay. So the next step that I want to show is us to now control. Let's press stop. And a good practice is always go back to the zero. So on your timeline, so just go back to zero to make sure it's back in the middle again. I don't want this camera to be here, so I'm just going to hide the camera and hide the light so we don't see it. So now we want to make a controller for this broken pieces or distracted pieces. And for us to do that, we need to add an empty. So remember, we want to be in our collection. So remember, select our collections area, because every collection that you select, when you add the object, to add it within that collection. So make sure we want to be in our main collections area, and we can even rename this collection main. Okay, so this is our main area, our scene area, or we can name it main scene. Okay, so collection main scene, and now we want to select collection main scene and go to add an empty, so plain axis. So we want to add empty plain axis. Okay, or we can even use an empty, but it's always going to give us an axis already. But yeah, we can use this empty, and I want to name this empty fractured pieces controller. So once we've got that done, we have that. That's all we wanted to have as a name. And we want to now lift this to be the center of the axis of our sphere, because the sphere had an axis point at the center of this fractured pieces. So we want to replicate that same axis point. And for us to do that, we have to lift or put our Z axis to 1 meter up. Okay, that'll bring it right in the middle. That's what we want the controller to be, in the middle of this sphere. Okay, so once you do that, I know I don't like any zeros. I don't want to add the one, so I want to go to object, apply all transformations to deltas, and I will now take that as 0. Okay, so and one good thing to notice is that all your transformations are right back in here. So remember the delta transformation, all the transformations are hidden in there. So it's basically just subtracted it and put it into like a holding port, and it's now saved here. Okay. So once you've taken out that 0, that now made it 0, we want to select. Let's open that up. We want to select our objects. Once that's selected, we want to hold down Shift, and we want to now move the pieces and drop them into the fractured pieces here, fractured pieces controller. And now it will say here, drop the set, make a parent, drop to set parent, and we will drop it into there. And then you get an icon to know that as well, to get an icon here, we're saying 50. Okay. So once that's done, I want to now move this fractured pieces into the fractured collections, and now it's completed as it's now the parent of all those pieces. Okay. So now when that's done, we now can control where these pieces are going to fall. So now we can lift up here, and if we press play, it now work. And this is symbolizing where these connections are, or where these pieces are going through its force. So it's really good now we have that. So just go back again, and we can even move it at the edge. Just go right here and just move it right here just to see, it's at the edge of it. So right about there, let's put a bit more there, and just come out. So now I'm at the edge of our plane, and let's see what happens. Boom! So now we have a cool animation. And the great thing about this now, we can now we can copy and make multiple fractured pieces now. Okay, so let's go to, so when you want to copy and paste, just go to select, select on the actual collections, right click, copy, and now we want it to be in the main collections area. We have select our collections area. Okay, main selection, go right click and paste. And now I'll paste a new one inside the fractured pieces collections here. So now you have another one here. So now it's given us another scene collection, but you could just put it, yeah, it's there. So let's make sure that's in here as well. So now we have two inside the main selection. So now we have two here. So what we can do, we can now zero out that second one that we've made. Can now put it back into zero, and that should be right there at the middle. And let's go back into our side view, and let's go to our controller here. So let's zero that out as well. Fracture pieces. Okay, zero everything out. So everything is zeroed out. Okay, and let's hold these fracture pieces. Let's put it on here, and let's put this fracture pieces. Let's put it right at the edge here. So we have two areas that is it's located. But again, let's make it a bit higher side, and on the side a bit like that. And let's go here. This can even go to side view, and we can now press play. You get two smashes that are happening right there, colliding. And we can put as many as you want, but as you can see, it's having two simulations going at once can bog down the scene a bit. So just be aware, the more fracture pieces you have, the more it will become um, slower to make the calculations. So let's just add one more. I like to put them back to zero again. So yeah, zero is the controller that we have to put to zero. Okay, so we have to put the controller at zero. And once that's done, we can now copy this, go to main selection, and then paste. And we have a third one. So we have to now zero that out. So bring that back to zero. And they're already on zero already. Just make sure the ones that are not zero, bring them back to zero. Okay, they're all zeroed out. And let's just move them in different places. Let's go to a controller. Let's move one here, put it up there. Let's put one here, up there. Put one. Put another one here. Center there. So now we have three. So let's press play on there. We have three now happening, different times, and then three different explosions, which is really cool, really great. Let's zero them out. Let's just do one more. See how much are, and we can select them all, and let's just put them all back into zero. So now they should be all in the same place. When you press stop, you go back. So one, okay, so one's still not there. Yeah, one, okay, two is there. So we just zero them out, and then there. So now they're all zero. And let's make a fourth one. Let's just go paste because already had one ready. So now we've got 4 pieces. And if for some reason it's pasting it where I had it last, which was over there, and we could just zero this out and make sure that's zeroed out, the connection zeroed out. So there's all zeroed out. Yes, now go to our side mode and let's go to our controllers. So open them all up and just put one on this side. And we can put that to 5 to be perfect. If we want to be precise, we can put down -5. On the other side, just look at it again and let's go to here. So we need to put it on the Y 5. So I'm just going to put an H in every area here. And the next one, I'm going to put it to -5. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to bring it down so we can just go to -5, 5. And last but not least, put this here and here and go to -5 and 5. And now we have it all on 4 corners. So let's take a look at that. And now we want to lift them all up on the Z. Let's put them up about 5 again. Okay. And yes, press play. And all breaking all together at once. Let's go back. And it's actually really good. It just took one, most of the time, it does takes a lot to cache the first time. Once it caches the first time, meaning it basically saves all these simulations, and then the next simulation it will rerun that cache and it'd be very smooth and very quick. So it's really good. Blender has a good algorithm of creating that cache for us for our simulations. So again, we can manipulate where these simulations are going to happen. We can put it in different places. Let's just put it a bit here. And let's just move, which one is this? This one just want to be in that. And let's press play. So really cool. I mean, we could put so many and react into each other. So that's a really good technique of controlling our fracture pieces. Okay, so I hope this helps, and you can use this in your projects to come and smash different pieces, different objects together into one scene. I hope this helps, and I see you in the next one.